A first short with Greyhammer, but we're going to be going over the battle traits of and battle formations of Stormcast. First one's the Celestial Realm. We've already looked at that. You basically put in some Stormcast Eternals into reserve. Scions of the Storm is pretty simple. You put up the units from reserve onto the battlefield. Heaven Sent, you can basically replace units. And then their Finest Hour, Old Age of Sigmar, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls and save rolls once per turn. And then battle formations, these are your sub-factions. They only show one here. Sentinels of the Bleak Citadels. You pick a friendly Ruination Chamber, and they have a ward of 5-up. Stay tuned for more Warhammer shorts incoming. Next part of the Stormcast, we've got some spells/prayers. So this is a prayer, bless weapons. You pick a friendly Stormcast Eternals priest to chant this prayer, and then you pick a visible friendly Stormcast Eternals infantry unit, wholly within 12 to be the target, then make a chanting roll of d6. If you use the 6, then you add 1 to the attack's characteristic of the target's melee weapons until the start of the next turn. If the chanting roll was a 12+, the ability affects all visible Stormcast Eternals units wholly within 12 of this chamber. So it can be pretty powerful end-game thing, or you can just kind of use it frequently if you pray a lot. Stay tuned for some more War Scrolls coming. Chunky War Scroll up ahead, and we've got Krondus with 20 health, 12-inch move, 3-up save, and control 5 for objectives. Blazing Tempest, 12-inch range, 1 attack, 2-up, 3-up, rend 2, D3 damage +3, can shoot in combat. Has the Apex Maul, which gets 2 less attacks if he's taken 10 or more damage. 4 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, 2 rend, 4 damage. Is anti-infantry, so a massive 3 rend against infantry. And then 6 attacks, 3-up, 2-up, -2 rend, 2 damage. You add 2 to casting rolls. You can, on a 3-up, make a unit not be able to use commands. And then you've got a casting roll of 8 spell, where you pick a target within 18 inches, and pick whether to subtract 1 from hits, rend, or save rolls for that unit. Pretty powerful wizard. One of the great War Scrolls for Stormcast Eternals. Yndrasta's seeing a bit of a change, where she's kind of become less tanky, with only a 5-up ward, where she used to have a 4-up ward. 8 wounds, control 2, save a 3-up, move of 12. Thengavar has a range of 12 inches, 1 attack, 3-up, 2-up, rend 2, 4 damage, and it's rend 3 against monsters. In melee, it's 2 attacks, 2-up, 2-up, rend 2, damage 3, rend 3 against monsters. Blade of the High Heavens, 5 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 2, 3 damage. Double the damage of its Thengavar attacks that target monsters, so 8 and 6 respectively. Can roll 3 dice to charge, and ignores negative modifiers to the control sources for friendly Stormcast Eternals wholly within 12 inches. So she's become more of a charge her straight into the monster and destroy it. Knight Arcanum being even more buffed against invocations or manifestations. 6 wounds, 5-inch move, 3-up save, control 2. 3 attacks, 3-up to hit, 3-up to wound, rend 1, d3 damage, but it's rend 2 against manifestations. And then add 1 to the casting rolls when it uses the summon ability to summon manifestations, and add 1 to banishment rolls to banish manifestations. Enemy manifestations cannot pass through or end its move within this unit's combat range unless they started that move within this unit's combat range, and it has a ward of 4-up against manifestations, and a wizard 1. So he's going to be your march into combat against manifestations and banish them. Annihilator's getting some spicy changes with 3 health, 4-inch move, 2-up save, control 1. Their Meteoric Hammer, they have 3 attacks, 3-up to hit, 3-up to wound, rend 1, damage 2. They have an ability that if they are charged, you roll a dice for each model in this unit. If any of those rolls is a 6, the enemy has strike last. And then, if this unit was set up using the Signs of the Storm ability, pick up to 3 enemy units within 10 inches of it to be the target. Roll a d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict the amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. So really powerful kind of shock troop, but can also got a little bit more of a defensive boost this update around. So we've got some Spearhead War Scroll rules for the prosecutors. It probably is very similar to their regular War Scroll, not sure how much they're changed. With 2 health, 12-inch move, 3-up save, control 1. Their javelins have a 10-inch range, 1 attack, 3-up, rend 1, damage D3. And in melee, 3 attacks, 3-up, rend 1, damage 1. They are reinforced, so you can bring a unit back in your Spearhead games. And then they have a coherency range of 2 inches, and they get to roll an additional charge dice when charging. You also gain some abilities in your Spearhead games from the Vigilant Brotherhood, giving a unit a 5-up ward or making them able to run and charge. That's it for Stormcast. We'll see what they come up with tomorrow for new Faction Focus. Faction Focus Day 2, we've got Skaven, and we've got the good old battle traits. So basically you can set up in tunnels. It looks like you can set up every unit in tunnels. It doesn't seem to have a restriction. And then you can summon more Null Hulls with the next ability once per battle round. Set up a Null Hull. That's pretty strong, but you can't be close to objectives. The passive, you don't take any mortal damage if you retreat by Skaven and infantry and cavalry. In your movement phase, you can bring people out of the Null Hulls. And then once per turn in your army for your enemy, in the enemy hero phase, you pick a friendly non-monster. They can use the normal move as if it's your movement. That's going to be it for this one. So one of the sub-factions seems to be the Molder-focused one, the Flesh Meld Menagerie. Once per turn, pick up to 3 friendly non-hero Molder units, roll dice for each target, and apply the following results. 1 to 2, you inflict D3 mortal damage. 3 to 4, you add 1 to the attacks of their melee weapons, and 5 to 6, blinded by frenzy, you get the rapid infusion, and then the target has a 5-up ward until the start of your next turn. Arcana, you've got your manifestation of summon Warp Lightning Vortex, cast a value of 7, you can only cast it once, has to be within 18 inches of the caster and within 7 inches to form a triangle. The Vortex, 7 wounds, 6-up health, banishment 7-up, multiple parts, Warp Lightning bolts, roll dice for each target, on a 4-up inflict D3 mortal damage on the target, and it subtracts 2 from run rolls, and then does mortal damage as well. Got a big War Scroll here with Lord Screech Vermin King, 13 health, 10-inch move, 4-up save, control of 5, 7 attacks, 3-up to hit, 2-up to wound, rend of 2, damage 3, 6s to hit are 2 hits. Got a spell of a 7, pick an enemy unit within 13, on a 7 you roll 13 dice for every 5-up, inflict mortal wound, return a slain model to a clan rat unit. Also has the rampage ability, so on a 3-up, and it also makes it so that your enemy controls less. And then once per, in your hero phase, you can only pick one of these one time per battle. One buffs up your wizard's casting, 1 buffs up your infantry charge, 1 buffs up your shooting, the other boosts your rend for your Eshin units, add 1 to chanting rolls for Pestilent Priest, or heal Molder units. Also has a ward of 5-up, can cast 1 spell. Pretty powerful War Scroll. You've also got Rat Ogres as your monstrous infantry. So you've got 6-inch move, 5-up to save, control 1, 4 health. So note that they are lesser than Kroxgor in that manner. 10-inch range attack with their Warp Fire Gun, 2d6 attacks, 2-up to hit, 4-up to wound, rend 2, 1 damage, can shoot in combat. Claws, Blades, and Fangs, 5 attacks, 4-up, 3-up, rend 1, damage 2. And then you can unleash Warp Fury in any combat phase to inflict D3 mortal wounds on this unit, or mortal damage. Then add 1 to the attack characteristic of this unit's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. So you can kind of sacrifice your some wounds to basically get a buffed up attack, and 1 to 3 can have the Warp Fire. Warp Lightning Cannon coming in with the artillery, 8 health, 3-inch move, 4-up save, control 2, 20-inch range, 2d6 attacks, 4-up to hit, and the ability is each attack must target the same enemy unit. Each hit inflicts 1 mortal damage on the target and the attack sequence ends. So 2d6, and for every 4-up, you just do a mortal damage. Melee, nothing special. D6 attacks, 4-up to hit, 5-up to wound, no rend 1 damage. And then if it's within combat range of a friendly Skyer hero, you can add 6 to the attacks, but for every 1, it suffers D3 mortal wounds after the shoot has been resolved. So, classic Skaven fashion, swings can be either really great, or you could just kill yourself. It's a kind of crazy mechanic, but we'll see how good it is. You've also got the terrain feature of the Nahal, which can be destroyed now. 6 health, 4-up save, no ward, just to note. Models can pass through this terrain feature, cannot be set up on or in moves, but each time they do move across, you roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict the mortal damage equal to the roll. It also gives you a command you can use once per turn for your army, is you pick a friendly non-hero Skaven infantry unit that's been destroyed to be the target, and then you set up a replacement unit with half the number of models, rounding up, wholly within 6 inches, and more than 3 from enemy units. Pretty powerful redeploy, basically, for a command point. Pretty powerful. Then Tunnels Through Reality, you can pick a friendly Skaven unit that is not in combat and is wholly within 6 inches of this terrain feature to be the target. Remove it, and then place within 6 inches of another friendly Nahal and more than 9 inches. So these are going to act as locuses of teleportation, basically. So, Gloomspite gets battle traits. Under the light of the bad moon, during the battle, an area of the battlefield will be under the bad moon. It'll be either the quarter or the center. Once in the quarter, all Gloomspite gets in that quarter are considered under the bad moon, while it's in the center, all Gloomspite gets are under the light of the bad moon. While friendly Gloomspite gets is under the light, if it's a non-squig Moon Clan unit, add 3 to the control. If it is a squig, you can reroll the random characteristic for its move. If it's a Troggoth, you add 1 to save rolls, and if it's a Spider Fang, it crits on a 5+ instead of a 6+. And then it moves. You can use this ability at the start of the battle round. If multiple players, then instead they roll off. And if it's the first battle round, pick a quarter of the battle round to be the Bad Moon starting location. On a 1 to 3, it stays. On a 4-up, it moves on each turn after that. It moves to the center of the field, and then it will move off. That's it for the battle traits. On to battle formations, you've got the Squigalanche, in which case, anytime a friendly Squig unit charge, add 1s to the attack of its gobs, of any sort, depending on how large the Squig is. And then you've got a spell from the lore of the Clammy Dark. Casting value of 7, pick a friendly Gloomspite gets Wizard, then make a casting roll of 2d6. And then until the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks while they're wholly within 12 inches of the caster. So you kind of make a little bit of a debuff area, which is great because everyone knows Gloomspite gets pretty squishy. Tune in for War Scrolls. So for Skagrot's War Scroll, you've got 6 health, 5-inch move, 6-up save, control of 2, ward of 4-up, however, so gets that 6-up, makes it a little bit better. 4 attacks, 3-up, 4-up, rend 1, d3 damage. Once per battle, you can choose whether the Bad Moon moves or stays, instead of rolling the dice. In your hero phase, casting value of 7 spell. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18, then make a casting roll of 2d6. Roll a number of dice equal to the unmodified casting roll. For every 3-up, inflict 1 mortal damage on the target, and then reaction if you deploy for a friendly Moon Clan unit wholly within 12 inches. If you roll a 1 to 3 when determining the distance they can move, you can use a value of 4 instead, make your guys a little faster at getting out. Can cast 2 spells as well, so that's an interesting thing to note. Alright, on to the next. The Gobblepalooza has its own interesting rules. 3 health apiece, 5-inch move, 6-up save, control of 2. Then they've got attacks of 1 attack, 4-up, rend 1, d3 damage. The passive is Hallucinogenic Fungus Bruise. In the first battle round, ward of 4-up, 2nd, 5th up, and everything else a ward of 6-up. And then roll a dice on each of your hero phases. On a 3-up, pick one of the following effects. Add 1 to run and charge rolls for Gloomspite gets. Add 1 to the rend, or to pick an enemy unit and they cannot use commands. Wizard of 1, so they can cast 1 spell from one of the spell lores. Makes kind of a neat utility support unit. So then you've got your Squig Herd, 1 health apiece, move of d6 plus 3, 6 up save and control 1. The Fang-filled Gob is 3 attacks, 4 up, 3 up, rend 1, 1 damage. And the Squig Prodder is 2 attacks, 5 up, no rend, 1 damage. 1 to 6 models as a Squig Herder has the Squig Prodder. Each time the model in this unit is slain by a combat attack and that model was in combat with the attacking unit, roll dice. On a 5 up, inflict a mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved. They count as a beast, so they have a maximum control score of 1. And then roll dice for each Squig Herder on the unit. In your hero phase, for each 2 up, you can return d3 slain cave squigs. For each 1, a Squig Herder in this unit is slain. So, nice little kind of distraction unit that can do some mortal damage back. The Bad Moon Loon Shrine has 14 health and a 4 up save. The passive ability is the effigy of the Bad Moon. Giving friendly Gloomspite Gits are considered under the light of the Bad Moon while wholly within 12 inches of the terrain feature. Also, you can use a command point from this to, once per turn, at the end of your turn, pick a friendly non-hero, non-monster, non-war machine Gloomspite Gits unit that's been destroyed, set up a replacement unit with half the number of models, rounding up, wholly within 12, and more than 3 inches from enemy units. So acts as kind of similar to the Gnawholms, almost. Kind of gives the Gloomspite a little bit more survivability. They've always had this ability, but now I believe it only was able to be used once per battle before. I could be wrong. For Spearhead abilities, you basically get the same things of being able to put units in and take them out. And then the Grazier War Scroll, 5 health, 6 inch move, 6 up save, control 2, 3 attacks, 4 up, rend 1, damage d3. You can pick a friendly unit wholly within 13. On a 3 up, add the roll to the target's control score. And then Wither, you pick a visible within 13, roll 2d6. On a 6 up, inflict d3 mortal wounds. So it seems to be a pretty standard attack wizard. That's it for Skaven. Hopefully we'll see the Gloomspite Gits and see what their rules are like tomorrow. So we've got the battle traits for the Nighthaunt. First off, passive, ignore all modifiers to save rolls. For friendly Nagash, or Nighthaunt units, excluding Nagash. Then you've got a reaction when the opponent declared an attack. You change your ward to a 5 up for a command point. And then you've got these Aura of Dread abilities that apply if you charge. You pick a friendly Nighthaunt that hasn't used an Aura of Dread. The number of models in the friendly Nighthaunt must be greater than the number of models in the target, and you subtract 1 from hit rolls for the target. Then you've got Stun, which is a War Machine or Cavalry, has not used Aura of Dread. Pick an enemy unit within an inch. Subtract 1 from save rolls from the target, and then Petrify from a Nighthaunt hero, hasn't used Aura of Dread. Pick an enemy target within an inch, and the target has Strike Last. And then friendly Nagash units that are in combat can use charge abilities. However, if it uses a charge ability and rolls under 3, they don't count as having charged. So for battle formations, we've got the Deathstalkers, and the ability there is No Escape. Friendly Nighthaunt units can use charge abilities, even if they used a run or retreat ability in the same turn. In addition, no mortal damage is inflicted on friendly Nighthaunt units by retreat abilities. We've also got some teases for some different subfactions, one using the Black Coach, and then some others being anti-hero. Then we've got the Lore of the Underworlds with a casting value of 6 of the spell Shade Mist. Pick a friendly Nighthaunt wizard and a friendly Nighthaunt unit that has 3 or more models and is within 12 inches of the wizard. Make a casting roll of 2d6. On a 6 up, you would subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target that unit until the start of your next turn. So we'll be getting into War Scrolls in the next episode. So we've got Lady Alinder, the Mortarch of Grief, coming in with 8 inch move, 4 up save, control 2, 7 health. Has the range attack of Horrifying Visage, 12 inch range, 1 attack, 2 up to hit, 2 up to wound, 3 rend, d6 damage, and auto wounds on a crit. Staff of Midnight, 4 attacks, 4 up to hit, 3 up to wound, rend 1, d3 damage, also auto wounds on a crit. Handmaiden Spectral Claws, 6 attacks, 4 up, no rend, 1 damage, also auto wounds on a crit. And its companion. You've got an ability called No Rest for the Wicked. Pick any number of friendly Nighthaunt units. For each target, you return a number of slay models with a combined health characteristic of up to d3 plus 3, so really powerful heal. You've also got to subtract 3 from the control scores of enemy units while they're within 12 inches. And you have a spell, casting value of 6. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18 and ignore positive modifiers to hit, wound, and save. Next we've got Reikenor with 12-inch move, 4-up save, control 2, health 7. Fell Reaper has 5 attacks, 3-up, 3-up, rend 2, 2 damage, plus 1 damage on the charge, and auto wounds on a crit. The hoof attacks from the horse, 3 attacks, 5-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage. Auto wound on a crit and is considered companion. Corpse Candle is in any hero phase. You either pick yourself or an enemy unit within 12, allocated damage. For both, you would add 1 to casting rolls, but if you did mortal damage to yourself, you would add 1 to the power level. And then spells, you've got Wraithstorm on casting value of 7, pick a visible enemy unit within 12, inflict D3 mortal wound damage, and then if you actually kill any models, you inflict an additional D3 mortal damage. And then the passive, you've got Grim Justice, add 1 to hit and wound against Priest and Wizard with his sword, and he's got a ward of a 6-up. Next, you've got the Dreadblade Heroes, 12-inch move, 4-up save, control 1, 3 health. They've got the Dreadblade, 4 attacks, 4-up to hit, 3-up to wound, rend 1, damage 2, auto wounds on a crit, and then the Hooves and Teeth, 3 attacks, 5-up, 3-up, no rend, 1 damage, crit, auto wounds. Passive, if this unit charged this turn, add 3 to the control scores of friendly Night Haunt units while they're wholly within 12. And then in any movement phase, you remove it from the battlefield, set it up again on the battlefield more than 9 from enemy units. They now come in units of 2 as well, making them kind of a mini hero unit. And of course, they have a 6-up ward. And so their Curse of Loyalty allows you to really kind of maneuver with Phantasmal Discorporation and then kind of help control an objective. Next we've got the Mirmorn Banshees, 8-inch move, 4-up save, control 1, health of 2. Has the Chill Dagger, 2 attacks, 4-up to hit, 3-up to wound, rend 2, damage D3, auto wounds on a crit. And then as a reaction, when your opponent declares a spell ability, if a friendly Night Hunt unit wholly within 12 inches of the unit was picked to be the target of the spell, this unit can use the Unbind ability as if it was Wizard 1, add 1 to the Unbinding roll, and if it is unbound, inflict D3 mortal damage to the caster. Also has a ward of 6-up, so these guys kind of you can supplement in your army and basically make as anti-spell zones. Kind of interesting. Seems like is going to be kind of having miniature support units for this army is going to be how they do it. Next we'll be going into the Spearhead rules. So we've got the Slasher Host gives us the Wave of Terror, which pick a friendly unit to use the ability if it charged and the charge roll is 10 up. Pick an enemy unit within an inch. They get the strike last. And Ethereal, same as always. Ignore modifiers to save rolls for friendly units. So Chain Rasp get reinforcements, and then you've got your Knight of Shrouds, 5 health, 8-inch move, 4-up save, control 2, has a ward of 6-up. You've got the Sword of Stolen Hours, 5 attacks, 3-up, 4-up to hit, 3-up to wound, rend 1, damage 2, crit is an auto wound. And then in your hero phase, Discorporate, you pick a friendly unit wholly within 9 inches, and until the start of your next turn, the target has a ward of 5-up. So basically kind of works with the battle traits for the regular faction, but on a spearhead.